There's a quiet tension that hangs in the background of modern life, a kind of low-frequency hum that we rarely acknowledge, yet feel every day. It's the sensation of falling behind, of watching the world race ahead while we stand in place. It's the subtle panic that someone, somewhere is living a better moment than we are. And even though we don't say it out loud, a part of us constantly wonders whether we're missing something important. This psychological current has a name, and it shapes far more of our behavior than we care to admit. We scroll through endless landscapes of other people's moments, watching smiles that seem a little too perfect, trips that feel a little too effortless, and successes that appear strangely casual. The modern feed is a gallery of curated victories, and every swipe is an invitation to compare the unscripted messiness of our own reality with someone else's highlight reel. Yet the comparison rarely feels conscious. It happens in the background, quietly, like a whisper saying that we should be doing more, seeing more, becoming more. The fear of missing out is not a modern invention. Human beings have always carried the instinct to stay connected to the tribe, to remain aware of opportunities or threats. Thousands of years ago, missing out could mean missing a hunt, losing access to resources, or being socially excluded. The instinct kept us alive. But in the digital age, this primal mechanism is constantly overstimulated. Instead of a handful of people to compare ourselves to, we now have millions. Our brains were never designed to process this volume of social information, and yet we expose ourselves to it every day. We wake up, reach for the phone, and the world rushes in before we've even taken a full breath. Someone is already awake and grinding at the gym. Someone is enjoying breakfast by the sea. Someone just closed a deal. Someone got married. Someone bought a car. Someone went viral overnight. Someone achieved the kind of life moment that we barely even feel close to. And as we absorb all of this, something subtle happens. It's not envy in the traditional sense. It's a creeping unease that we're operating at the wrong pace, on the wrong path, or in the wrong version of life. This unease pushes us into behaviors that don't always make sense. We say yes when we want to say no. We join events that drain us. We stay active online long after our mind is tired. We respond instantly because we don't want to be the one who seems detached or uninterested. And beneath all of it is the quiet fear that if we disconnect for even a moment, something meaningful will happen without us. It's not that we expect miracles. It's simply that we don't trust the quiet anymore. Silence feels like falling behind. There's something deeply ironic about the fact that the more connected we become, the more disconnected we feel from ourselves. Every notification, every ping, every update assigns value to activity, to noise, to constant motion. We begin to believe that life should move at the same pace as our screens, but human growth isn't built for that rhythm. We aren't meant to live in a perpetual state of stimulation, always chasing the next moment, always fearing the one we might miss. The psychology behind this phenomenon runs deep. At its core is the brain's reward system, especially the cycle driven by dopamine. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of anticipation. It's the force that drives us to check our phones, even when we know nothing new has happened. It's the feeling that keeps us scrolling, hoping for the next small hit of novelty. Each notification is a potential reward. Each update is a possibility. And our brain, craving that anticipation, traps us in a loop. This loop creates the illusion that something important is always just about to happen. And once you believe that, stepping away begins to feel dangerous. Rest feels irresponsible. Quiet feels suspicious. We start to measure our life not by the depth of our experiences, but by the quantity of our engagements. We stop asking whether something matters to us and start worrying whether we'll regret missing it. It's a shift so subtle that most people never notice it happening. Yet the cost is enormous. When every moment is spent trying to keep up with the world, we lose the ability to fully inhabit our own reality. We begin to fracture our attention, dividing it between what we're living and what we think we should be living. Even moments that should feel rich begin to feel incomplete, because in the back of our mind, we wonder what else could be happening out there. The present becomes a room with open windows, and our mind keeps drifting toward the noise outside. People often think the fear of missing out is about wanting more experiences, but in truth, it's about uncertainty. It's about not trusting our own choices. It's about believing that happiness is happening somewhere else, and that we need to chase it before it slips away. The problem is that this chase has no finish line. Every time we catch up, new things appear. New trends, new lifestyles, new successes, new paths we didn't even know were available. The world expands faster than we can keep track of, and so the feeling of inadequacy grows with it. What makes this fear especially powerful today is how invisible it feels. We rarely admit to it, even to ourselves. Instead, we disguise it as productivity, ambition, or social curiosity. We tell ourselves we want to stay updated, we want to stay informed, we want to stay connected. But beneath the justifications is a quieter truth. We're afraid of being left out, overlooked, forgotten. We're afraid that everyone else is living a better version of life, and we're the only ones stuck in pause mode. This fear shapes entire generations in ways we barely understand. It affects how we work, how we socialize, how we fall in love, how we make decisions, and even how we rest. And the strangest part is that the more we try to outrun the fear, the more it chases us. The more we try to fill the void with noise, the louder the emptiness feels. But the story doesn't end here. Because beneath the surface of this anxiety lies a deeper psychological pattern, one that reveals why our mind reacts this way, why modern platforms amplify the fear, and how we can break free from it without disconnecting from the world. And that's where the next part begins. Understanding the fear of missing out requires recognizing how deeply it intertwines with our sense of identity. We often think our choices define who we are, but what truly shapes us is our ability to commit to those choices without constantly questioning whether there was a better option. When every path looks possible, every option looks attractive, and every experience looks extraordinary, the weight of choosing even the simplest thing grows heavier. Modern life presents us with what seems like infinite alternatives, and instead of empowering us, this abundance quietly erodes our confidence in our decisions. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. The more possibilities we have, the more pressure we feel to choose perfectly. And while we might not consciously think about it, our brain interprets each option we don't choose as something we might be losing. Every path becomes a ghost, a parallel version of life that plays in our mind, tempting us with the idea that we could have been happier if we had just chosen differently. This mental tug-of-war feeds the fear of missing out, making the present moment feel insufficient compared to the imagined version of what could have been. What we rarely realize is that the mind has a habit of exaggerating the beauty of the roads we didn't take. It polishes them, it romanticizes them, it turns possibilities into illusions of perfection. Meanwhile, the path we're actually walking feels ordinary because we experience it in full detail. We see the flaws, the uncertainties, the quiet days, the imperfect moments. The things we miss out on are seen from a distance, stripped of complexity, leaving only the highlights. No one compares their behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel and comes out feeling satisfied. This creates a strange emotional imbalance. We're constantly exposed to extraordinary moments from other people's lives while living our own in real time with all its mundane textures. And because the mind is wired to prioritize novelty and reward, it gravitates toward whatever feels exceptional. Over time, this trains us to undervalue the normal rhythm of life. We forget that most of the beautiful things we remember were once ordinary moments too, only seen as meaningful in hindsight. But when we judge the present against a curated world of artificial extremes, even our best days can seem small. Another hidden force behind the fear of missing out is the way social validation has changed. There was a time when our sense of belonging came from small groups, family, neighbors, a few close friends. Now, belonging feels global, and our value seems tied to whether the world acknowledges us. The invisible scoreboard of likes, views, comments, and reactions conditions us to believe that moments matter only if they are shared and approved by others. We start living not for the experience itself, but for how the experience will be perceived. This subtly rewires the way we evaluate happiness. Instead of asking how something feels to us, we ask how it might look to others. Instead of listening to our own desires, we anticipate the reactions of an audience we may not even know personally. And when we see others receiving attention, praise, or recognition, we feel the pressure to achieve the same. The fear is no longer just about missing an event. It's about missing a chance to be seen, a chance to matter, a chance to participate in the collective flow of the world. Yet beneath all these layers, something more human is happening. We are social creatures, designed to synchronize with others, to share emotional rhythms, to mirror behaviors that help us survive and connect. The fear of missing out is simply our ancient social instinct reacting to a modern environment that overwhelms it. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of adaptation pushed to its limits. Our mind is trying to protect us, trying to keep us connected, trying to ensure that we don't drift away from the world. But in trying to protect us, it sometimes traps us. There is a quiet shift that happens when we begin to understand this. Instead of seeing FOMO as a flaw, we start to see it as a signal that our mind is overstimulated, a signal that our boundaries need strengthening, a signal that we've been looking outward for too long and forgetting to look inward. When we pause long enough to realize this, the noise around us softens a little. We notice the weight of our own breath. We recognize the presence of our own life. And for a brief moment, the endless comparison stops. Breaking free from the fear of missing out doesn't mean isolating ourselves from the world or pretending we don't care. It means learning to trust our choices again. It means remembering that meaning comes from depth, not volume. It means understanding that life will always offer more possibilities than we can ever explore, and that this is not a failure, but a blessing. The richness of life is not measured by how many experiences we collect, but by how deeply we live the ones we choose. There's a kind of quiet power that emerges when we embrace this. We begin to choose with intention instead of urgency. We start valuing the moments that feel genuine to us, even if they don't look impressive to others. We stop chasing the world's pace and rediscover our own. We learn that presence has a frequency, and once we tune into it, the feeling of missing out loses its grip. Because in those moments, we're not looking elsewhere. We're not imagining other lives. We're here, fully, completely, unconditionally. When we return to ourselves in this way, the fear of missing out transforms into something softer. We begin to realize that we weren't afraid of missing events, but of missing meaning. We weren't afraid of missing experiences, but of missing connection. And the truth is that meaning and connection were never out there. They were always here, waiting for us to slow down long enough to notice them. And as this awareness settles into us, we begin to understand something essential. The world will continue moving whether we chase it or not. But the more we chase it, the more of our own life we leave behind. If you're still watching this, maybe you've felt this too. Maybe you've lived with the quiet pressure of trying to keep up with a world that never stops. Maybe you've questioned whether you're falling behind or missing something, or living too slowly. If that's the case, remember this simple truth. You're not behind. You're not late. You're exactly where your life needs you to be, and nothing meaningful will ever require you to sacrifice your peace to catch it. If this message resonated with you in any way, consider joining the channel. There's a lot more to explore together about the mind, human behavior, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives. And if you feel someone else needs to hear this too, feel free to share it. Sometimes the right words at the right moment can change the direction of someone's day.